And the Torch of Life kicks off today in Wasilla. It's a 2-year campaign where students will pass the torch from Alaska all the way to Argentina to raise awareness about how you can save a life.
Literally, I was in a hospital bed in Toronto, at a Toronto hospital, and I already made my funeral arrangements, like most other people waiting, and with hours left, literally, a call came in that a liver was available.
After getting a second chance at life, George Marcello says he wants to say thank you by raising awareness about being a tissue and organ donor in an interesting way. He's leading a student torch campaign where close to 300 cities are going to take part in carrying this torch. Today, Anchorage Mayor Dan Sullivan joined others at an opening ceremony to help inspire everybody in each of their communities to be a tissue and organ donor.
The opportunity to help other people, in this case, one donor may help up to 50 people through organ and tissue transplant, and in George's case, can save a life through an organ transplant.
For more information on how to be a tissue and organ donor, log on our website at ktva.com. Stick around, CBS 11 News.
When it's all said and done, this torch will have traveled through 160 cities in the United States and 36 countries.
It started in Wasilla, Alaska, October 23rd, 2009, and we just finished wrapping up the Canadian leg, and on Saturday we entered Buffalo.
Monday, the Torch of Life was in Bangor. Its mission? To promote awareness and urge more people to get involved with organ donation. Members of the Bangor High School track team lit the torch in Pickering Square and prepared to carry it across the city.
I think it's a great honor because it's for a very good cause, and it's come across the whole country. Well, it's going to be going across all the Americas and stuff, and I think that for it to come to Bangor and we get to walk it, it's pretty cool.
Despite frigid temperatures, the students were ready to go.
I knew walking up from the student parking lot this morning it was going to be really cold out, so grabbed my jacket and put my sweatshirt on over it. Got everything I could out.
The Torch's tour of Bangor headed down Broadway and came to an end at Bangor High School.
I think it was a great thing to do. No, it was cold, but it was fun. And it's a good thing to get all the community out there and show them what we can do.
The heart that these students showed keeps me going, and I hope it's going to be able to inspire the rest of the community. And as we're going from city to city, through 160 cities in the United States, we're hoping that we can see a dramatic increase in the rate of organ donations.
Next stop, Augusta on Tuesday. Rob Poindexter, WABI TV5 News, Bangor.
Of Life makes its way through Buffalo today as part of its tour through 36 countries promoting organ and tissue donation. More than 100,000 Americans right now are waiting for an organ transplant. Today, Toronto police officers passed the torch to Buffalo police officers at the Peace.
For a good cause crossed the border into Buffalo. Toronto police officers passed the Torch of Life to their Queen City counterparts at the Peace Bridge. Students ran from Alaska through Canada to promote the cause of organ donation, and now that run continues through the U.S. and points to the South.
Every hour somebody's passing away because these organs aren't arriving. There's over 100,000 Americans that are waiting. We can change this.
Now that torch run will continue through 160 U.S. cities over the next several months. A very long walk for a good cause crossed the border into Buffalo. Toronto police officers passed the Torch of Life to their Queen City counterparts at the Peace Bridge. Students ran from Alaska through Canada to promote the cause of organ donation, and now that run continues through the U.S. and points to the South.
Every hour somebody's passing away because these organs aren't arriving. There's over 100,000 Americans that are waiting. We can change this.
Now that torch run will continue through 160 U.S. cities over the next several months.
Of Life makes its way through Buffalo today as part of its tour through 36 countries promoting organ and tissue donation. More than 100,000 Americans right now are waiting for an organ transplant. Today, Toronto police officers passed the torch to Buffalo police officers at the Peace.
Students from across the globe are on a mission of hope And today that mission made a stop right here in Western New York. News 4's Jackie Walker's here with more. Jackie?
That's right, Lisa. The Torch of Life is making a 2-year journey from Alaska to Argentina to promote the cause of organ and tissue donations. This morning, the torch passed through Buffalo. Canisius High School students carried the torch from City Hall to their school on Delaware Avenue. The Torch of Life was originally brought to the Pope by liver transplant recipient George Marcello to promote the cause. But Buffalo is now one of 300 cities where the torch will stop. The students are working together with Upstate New York Transplant Services. Their education coordinator keeps the cause of organ donation close to her own heart.
I'm also the mom of Lexus, who received a heart almost 6 years ago. So without people raising awareness about this issue, my daughter may not have received her heart because you never know when it's going to be part of your life.
There's over 100,000 people in the United States that are currently in need of some type of transplant, and it's something that anyone can give. It's a gift that they can give back. So we just kind of joined together to help raise awareness.
And Connor is part of the Donate Life Club at Canisius. On special days, the students wear green ties to school as another way to support awareness of organ and tissue donation. Lisa.
All right, thank you, Jackie.
Boy, Quinn Matthews, who desperately needs a heart transplant and is presently waiting in a New York City hospital.
The torch, which was blessed by Pope John Paul II, was carried from City Hall to Canisius High School by students from the school. At the end of its 732-day journey, they will have visited 300 cities in 36 countries.
For Kootenai West.
Arriving in the legislature later today. SOS the Americas is a campaign of over 1,000 students who will relay the torch of life throughout 36 countries in the Americas, promoting the importance of organ and tissue donations. This is a 2-year journey that started in Alaska on October 24th of this year and will end in Argentina on October 24th, 2011. The Odyssey is sponsored by Step by Step, a charitable organization created by George Marcello in 1997. George, a recipient of a life-saving liver transplant himself, has spearheaded this journey in many other countries, with this being his 7th campaign. Students from Victoria High with George will be arriving at the legislature at approximately 3 o'clock carrying the famous Torch of Life. Victoria is the 3rd city of 277 cities to be visited in the 2-year student torch trek. I encourage all members of the House to join me now and outside at 3 o'clock in welcoming these young people and the torch to the legislature today.
乔治·马西罗是一位曾经接受器官捐赠而获得新生的加拿大公民。他于2000年开始，为了呼吁更多人捐献器官，接力传递生命火炬。去年开始的美洲 SOS 之旅，3月8号抵达了美国纽约市。请看详细报道。
15年前，乔治·马西罗被医生告知只能活2天，因接受肝脏捐献而获得新生。他的一生也从此改变。自1997年，马西罗点燃了生命的火炬，为呼吁更多人捐献器官，在769天里走遍了加拿大，足迹远至罗马、梵蒂冈。火炬接力感动数千人志愿捐献器官。
My way of saying thank you was by walking 12,000 miles for the person that saved my life.
2001年9月，罗马教皇约翰保罗2世接见马西罗时，建议他让年轻人来担任火炬接力大使。
They're enthusiastic. Their voice is louder than ours. People will respond when children make a plea. So, Pope was right.
马西罗自2009年10月从阿拉斯加开始了美洲 SOS 火炬接力，2年内将走遍36个国家，100万学生参与其中，以帮助10万名等待器官捐献者。就在火炬抵达纽约的前一周，他们成功帮助3个月大的婴儿 Queen 接受了心脏移植手术，又挽救了一条珍贵的生命。生命的火炬一路激励着无数年轻人。来自瑞吉斯高中的学生冈萨雷斯和伙伴们是纽约站的接力手，他们都有共同的心愿：捐献器官，挽救生命。
We're new to this, and immediately we fell in love with it because of the passion they have and how much they really just want to help. So the chance to come out here and just walk in the streets, get a chance to talk to people, it's amazing.
奔忙了一天 ，SOS 之旅又要启程了。3月9日，他们将抵达康州的纽黑文，与当地的学生会合。新唐人记者朱双纽约报道。
Thanks for joining us. Here's a look at what's going on in the world of health. Students from Dover and Cesar Rodney High Schools marched through downtown Dover today. It was all part of the torch track aimed at raising awareness for organ donation. They started at TGIF and walked with a police escort all the way to City Hall. And that's where they handed the torch off to the mayor. And today was also to raise awareness for a 9th grader in Pittsburgh, Jamila Beverly. She needs a new liver, pancreas, and bowel. The organizer of today's event knows just how important this mission is. He's a transplant survivor himself.
There's a crisis in America. There's an organ shortage, and every hour an American is dying because an organ's not becoming available. And that shouldn't be happening. There's literally hundreds of organs that are going to waste.
That trek started last year in Alaska and will hit 300 cities around the world before ending in October of 2011. And a bill is up for debate that the
famous torch was blessed by Pope John Paul II back in 2000. It was lighted to pay tribute to organ and tissue donations. In West Hartford, street sweeping is scheduled to begin on Monday. And 2 crews will start with high traffic streets and then move on to side
Yeah,
streets.
I got
Will be finished by
all but the
Monday
first couple of
weekend.
seconds of it.
Eyewitness News is everywhere, town by town.
City are taking part in a global campaign to promote organ donation. Students from 277 cities are being recruited to carry the torch of life in an effort to inspire people to become organ and tissue donors. The 36-day campaign started in Alaska and will pass through 36 countries. Organizers say the message is too important to ignore.
In Canada, every other day, somebody is dying, waiting for an organ transplant. It's not arriving. We have the potential to save every one of the over 4,000 Canadians that are presently waiting if we can encourage, inspire every person in Canada to become an organ donor.
The torch of life has been blessed by the Pope and will be crossing paths with many governors, senators, even U.S. President Barack Obama. If you have some good news you'd like to share, leave us a voicemail at 780-989-4761 or send us an email to feedbackedmonton@globaltv.com.
Good news is brought to you. There's going to be thousands and thousands of lives that are going to be saved. That's really the bottom line.
You can become a donor simply by signing the back of your Alberta healthcare card, and you can track the torch's progress online. Just go to our website, ctvedmonton.ca, click on news links, and you'll get a link.
Stephen Mendel and students from St. Albert helped light the Torch of Life. It is day 20 of a 700-day campaign. A relay will run through 277 cities in 36 countries. Thousands are carrying the torch to encourage people around the world to sign donor cards and potentially save millions of lives.
A global campaign to promote organ donation passed through our city today. Students from 277 cities are carrying the torch of life. The 36-day campaign started in Alaska and will pass through 36 countries before finishing in Argentina. Organizers say someone in Canada dies every second day while waiting for an organ.
We have the potential to save every one of the over 4,000 Canadians that are presently waiting if we can encourage, inspire every person in Canada to become an organ donor.
The The Torch of Life has been blessed by the Pope and will be crossing paths with many leaders, including U.S. President Barack Obama.
Remembering 15-year-old Christopher Cutler. He's the Robert Bateman Secondary School student who died 9 months ago. His organs and tissues were donated. George Marcello, who's one of the organizers of today's run, explains why the event is so important.
It's very important. Every day somebody's dying because organs not arriving. If we can get this kind of enthusiasm, we can save everybody on the waiting list. Nobody needs to die, and what these kids are doing here today is literally saving lives, and that's what this is all about.
The journey began in Alaska in October. The torch will visit 277 cities in 26 countries. It's expected to end in Argentina in 2011. Stephen Harper getting a score.
There's a special ceremony outside City Hall today. 4-year-old Zoe Bernard received the Torch of Life as it made a stop in Montreal. The torch is traveling through the Americas, promoting the importance of organ donations. Zoe and her parents know something about that. Zoe received a new heart about 1 year ago and is now happy and healthy. For Zoe's parents, promoting organ donation is part of their mission as they cherish every day with their healthy daughter.
It's a challenge, but coming out from it, I think now we can find every little positive thing in any situation. But yes, it is difficult to stay positive, but you try and dig and find something good.
But you know, when you see Zoe, little kid, the only thing that they want to do is live. They're so strong. They're giving you a lesson of life, and you don't have choice. You have to fight. Because when you see them going, you have no other, nothing else to do. You have to fight with them.
Christmas, a Bromo family is promoting the gift of life. 2 years ago, 4-year-old Zoe Bernard was on a waiting list for a new heart. Well, now her family is appealing to the public to make a simple gesture to save a life. Annie DeMelt reports.
This is what Zoe's parents used to dream of, carefree moments with a healthy daughter.
She's having her second chance now, and she's happy.
At 2 months, she was showing signs of illness. At 2 years, she was waiting for a new heart.
Like every morning you wake up and the nightmare is still there. You don't know what the day is going to be, and every moment you wish someone tells you, the heart is here, we have a heart.
The heart finally came in April of 2008 from a young donor in Philadelphia.
Oh!
Today, 4-year-old Zoe is well enough to take part in the Step-by-Step campaign, a torch relay across North and South America to raise awareness about organ donations. This student joined the relay after hearing about Zoe.
I felt proud to know that she was all right in the end, and I'm really happy to meet her today.
Zoe is one of the lucky ones. More than 4,000 Canadians are still waiting, counting on others to sign their donor cards.
This has to be the most important plea to our country, is because there's organs going to waste every day. Hundreds of organs are going to waste every day. We have to reach people with this.
It saved Zoe's life. Now her family hopes her story can convince others.
But she is so happy. She's smiling, she's playing, she's a happy little girl.
Ready to celebrate her 4th Christmas and many more. Annie DeMelt, CTV News.
This is CBC News, Montreal at 6.
Now for a story that is definitely going to make you smile. It's the story of a little girl and a gift she received that literally saved her life. Now she wants to inspire others. The CBC's Joanne Vracas met Zoe Bernard today.
Hey, ça va bien aujourd'hui, Zoe?
She's doing just good, just fine, yes.
A little shy today.
Oh yeah, she is.
Today was a big one for this little girl. The 4-year-old is only a bit bigger than the torch she was carrying to City Hall. Last year, the tiny Montrealer received the gift of life, a heart, from an organ donor. It was a real miracle for her parents.
It's just terrible. You see your child just going away. She was going the last 48 hours before she got her heart. We didn't know if she was going to make it, and it was a miracle that she had her heart at that moment.
Zoe's heart came to her in part through the hard work of the group SOS the Americas. For a 7th time now, the group is carrying a torch through North and South America to raise awareness on organ and tissue donations. For this family, the memory of receiving the gift of a new heart is still very fresh.
Everything stops, the world stops turning, nothing else exists.
We both started crying. After that, the feeling is like a new birth for Zoe.
Katia Habra was one of the students who carried the torch for Zoe last year.
It's really important because once you're dead, you're dead. You had the chance to live and you had the chance to do what you had to do. But what is the point of not giving that chance to someone else who might need it?
For this man, Zoe is the perfect spokesperson for the cause.
Today, what better spokesperson than to have Zoe Bernard carry the torch? And we're also going to inspire everybody in Montreal and possibly Quebec to sign that organ donor card.
For the Bernard family, the issue of organ and tissue donation is one that crosses cultural, ethnic, and religious lines because it can, in fact, affect all of us. They want to remind everybody that the donations that come from one person alone can save up to 8 lives. Lives like that of little Zoe's. Joanne Vracas, CBC News, Montreal.
Well, if you're an Alouettes fan, you will love
St. Augustine School here in Hartford with George Marcello. George is the CEO of the Torch of Life program. You guys have been all over the country. This started in Alaska, right?
5 months ago, October 23rd in Wasilla, Alaska. So for the past 5 months, the torch has been going through almost 100 cities. We're going through the northeastern part of the United States. We got 150 cities to go in the States the next 14 months. The Torch of Life, which was blessed by Pope John Paul II 9 years ago, said that organ and tissue donation was a genuine act of love, and he asked me to pass the torch to the students, for they will be the voice and the face for this gift of life, and the students are going to show their enthusiasm, and you're going to hear that in a few seconds.
And this is really about raising the awareness for organ donation, right?
That's correct. And we're hoping that through the students and everybody else that people will sign their organ donor cards. Nobody needs to die on that waiting list. Every hour there's somebody dying. If these kids and kids right across the country can get their enthusiasm and passion going to encourage everybody, we can save over 100,000 Americans that are presently waiting. So today we're here at St. Augustine, and students are going to enthusiastically encourage everybody to sign their organ donor card.
We're going to follow them to the state capitol, and we'll have more for you tonight on the Fox 61 News at 10 and 11. You guys have a chant you want to say?
Donate your organs, let's go! 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 Donate.
The extra mile for a good cause, the push to think about organ donation today to save a life down the road.
Fox 61 and the Carrid, bringing you more local coverage. Now, the news at 10.
Sobering statistics now about organ donation.
2006 numbers show more than 100,000 Americans are waiting for an organ transplant. Every year, 6,000 people die waiting.
Now, the Connecticut DMV has been keeping track of donors since 1995.
Since then, the good news is the numbers have been steadily rising. Then, more than 329,000 were listed on their driver's license as an organ donor. In 2008, that number was up to more than 936,000.
And today, on the steps of the state capitol, some school kids provided the spark to help relay a message. More donors are needed.
The Torch of Life made its way through Hartford today in hopes of raising awareness for organ donations. Fox 61's Jim Altman shows us how it works.
There's more than one torch getting attention this week. These 8th graders from St. Augustine's in Hartford are fired up for the cause at the Capitol, what's called the Torch of Life.
We're telling people that it's good to donate to those who need the organs.
Torch of Life is our symbol to shine the light on the need for organ and tissue donation.
Liver donor recipient and campaign founder George Marcello is traveling the country in the Truck of Life and recruiting school kids everywhere he goes.
Donate your organs, let's go!
The torch itself shines for lots of reasons.
Pope John Paul II blessed that torch 9 years ago, and he proclaimed that organ and tissue donation was a genuine act of love. And he encouraged me to pass the torch to the students.
This is a 2-year campaign which started in October. Already they've hit 75 cities, and the truck back here has already logged 20,000 miles.
We're actually going through 160 cities in the U.S., and we're going to be arriving in San Diego on April 28, 2011.
And they say it's the steps they take here that will help down the road.
We've got 105,000 people in the United States waiting for an organ transplant, life-saving organ transplant. And in Connecticut alone, we've got about 1,100 people. Why not give the gift of life?
We don't need millions of dollars to go in the laboratory to find a cure. The cure is in us. Sign your organ donor cards, everybody in Connecticut.
In Hartford, Jim Altman, Fox 61 News.
After its tour of the U.S., the Torch will Argentina. To find out more about the Torch of Life, head to our website, ctnow.com.
Eventually, we're hoping to get a satellite to webcast the entire journey.
And when do you think this will end?
2 years.
2 more years.
Yeah. We finished in San Diego April 28, 2011.
You'll be doing that?
Sorry?
You'll be there for that?
Yeah, I'm going on the whole thing.
How is this funded? Not that
we're done. We don't got no muscle at all. This is blind faith. Every day is an adventure. How we get to one, I don't know how we've been doing it. Like he stepped up, you know, that's how we're here, you know. So it's every day is an adventure. Like
you stay in hotels, you stay.
Yeah, they've been helping out. Restaurants. Mickey's a beautiful restaurant in Hamden fed me for 4 days. Yeah. And you know, it's like that. It's you know how I have it? I still haven't lost that feeling on how it is waiting and like you're dying, and if something doesn't come, you're dead.
Right.
I know, you know, like
take it day to day.
Yeah, I know, and I know what that family's going through right now with their child waiting, you know. And so if they give up, if they say, you know, they're gonna die, like it's really that, you know. So I kind of wake up with that same drive, you know, and because this isn't something where you need a cure in the laboratory. It's how do we can do this. This is doable. This is a doable thing, you know, and it's not going to take the whole country to turn over. It just at least another good 50% or something, you know. So what by you come? That's why I
yeah, I mean, this is a good cause. Got kids involved, you know. It's fun. I didn't honestly, George. I didn't know about it until 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I was on the news last night at 10 and 11. I mean, I literally went to sleep, got up, got in my car, and came to work. And they said, which is kind of rare because when you come in at 10 as the reporter, you usually don't do the 11 a.m. news. But they said you're going to do an 11 a.m. not live chat, and you don't have time. It's great. It sounded I was like fine with me. You know?
Yeah.
It's FaceTime for you.
That's right. What's your first name?
Charlie.
Charlie. Okay, that's right. Charlie. Are you a cop with? You're a fireman with Hamden?
Yeah.
I know. I'm friends with Frank Ritchie from from New Haven. Frank's my friend, and I'm friends with his brother John too. Obviously, we know everybody.
Oh yeah.
But
a.m. Winter weather hits Connecticut. What we can expect for tonight's commute. Plus, the Torch of Life comes to Hartford. Today is day 123 of its 700-day international journey. And how healthy are you? Up next on the Fox Connecticut News, the Torch of Life comes to Hartford. Today is day 123 of its 700-day international journey. Plus, how often do your kids...
Remembering 15-year-old Christopher Cutler. He's the Robert Bateman Secondary School student who died 9 months ago. His organs and tissues were donated. George Marcello, who's one of the organizers of today's run, explains why the event is so important.
It's very important. Every day somebody's dying because organs not arriving. If we can get this kind of enthusiasm, we can save everybody on the waiting list. Nobody needs to die, and what these kids are doing here today is literally saving lives, and that's what this is all about.
The journey began in Alaska in October. The torch will visit 277 cities in 26 countries. It's expected to end in Argentina in 2011.
Wrong torch. Anyone who's driving that vehicle?
Wow. See, now watch this. This ain't.
Everybody on board there, then it'll be easier to.
Oh yeah.
There it comes.
There is a movement underway in this province to overhaul BC's organ donation program and possibly save lives in the process. Deb has more on what's known as presumed consent. NewsHour Insight. Deb.
Yes, Chris. Right now, there are more than 300 British Columbians on the waiting list for an organ transplant. And the sad truth about this is, and it's brutal, many of them will die while they're waiting. That's because while the majority of us support this idea, when it comes down to actual donors, the numbers are low. In an effort to combat the shortage and save more lives, one woman with a very personal connection to this issue is calling on politicians to change the current opt-in donor model to one of opt-out. Marissa Thomas explains.
If courage has a face, it would look like this. Cheryl Nilsson walks the Sun Run just 12 months after a double lung transplant. A transplant she had to move to Toronto for because of a shortage of organs in BC.
April 22nd, she got her call, got her double lung. It worked. And thank God for donors, because through the generosity of somebody else, their loss, which we feel every day, my daughter was able to survive and live and live life to the fullest.
And in 5 minutes, we'll be prepared to run with the torch. A lack of organ donors is something George Marcello knows all too well. He received a liver transplant and has now embarked on a 2-year torch relay across North and South America to get people to sign up to be donors. While events like this help raise awareness, still only 17% of British Columbians are organ donors. Cheryl's mom wants to see something called presumed consent, which means everyone would be considered an organ donor unless they opt out.
I think that would be wonderful, that everybody should be on the registry. If you don't want to be on it, phone, get on the internet, do whatever you have to do and say, no, I don't want to. But I think majority of people will will want to be on it, and they don't really realize that they are not an organ donor.
Presumed consent, or the opt-out system, is law in many European countries, including Spain, which leads the world in organ donation. The opt-out rate is around 2%. Still, it's not something that BC Transplant supports.
You know, British Columbia has a first-person consent registry, which means that we want to respect the decision of an individual. The rest of the country can't even come to grips with that reality. I can't see how the country can move from thinking that it's the decision of a family to actually going to presumed consent.
Having this in place, the family does have that discussion, and when the time happens that a family member dies, that family is more aware about the donation process. And right now what's happening is there's too much shock, and when the family is approached, they're not able to say yes.
It's a debate Cheryl would have wanted. Sadly, she passed away 1 month ago. Her lungs were healthy, but she died of a rare infection.
The Torch of Life Relay visited Greater Sudbury Thursday as part of its close to 300-city journey across 36 countries in North and South America. The purpose of the Torch of Life Relay is to raise awareness of the need for organ and tissue donations. Lively District Secondary School students Keely Murka and Victor Hopper carried the torch through part of Lively and again near Tom Davies Square.
Keely, you're one of the torch runners today for this Torch of Life run. Why is this important to be part of this?
It's really important to me because my grandfather over a year ago had a kidney transplant, and because of that now he can live a normal life and he doesn't have to do dialysis anymore, so it really made a difference for me and my family, and so I'm glad to run for the torch today.
Victor, you're the other torch runner today with the Torch of Life Relay. Why do you want to be part of this?
I was asked to do it by a teacher, and I thought it was a great cause to get involved and raise awareness for this organ donation. I don't have any connections, but I feel the need to do and thought it'd be good to represent it.
In 2007-2008, Torch of Life Relay also visited the Lively High School.
Oui, le coin de Notre-Dame, le délit de coin de Notre-Dame et
Not too much though. Thank you very much.
on est avec CBC, là, on est presque terminé. Quand vous êtes dans le restaurant, on est au fond complètement.
So we're here for a very special event. It's about a year since our daughter died. A year and a half. Sorry, a year and a half. Okay. Talk to us about when you knew that something was wrong. It was a big moment, but as a parent, you always feel when something is wrong with your child. I don't know, my life keeps walking here, so maybe put Zoe on the other side. Perfect. Sorry, feels the color. I know. Okay, so it was a year and a half ago that you know, when did you feel like something was wrong?
She was about 2 months old. She stopped gaining weight. She was crying all the time. She started vomiting for no reason all the time. Weird signs that told us something was wrong. We went to the hospital until 5 days later. It's too sensitive. Bad news. We asked what? What is that? After learning more about the disease, it's a very disease. In the first 5 years, not very much people survived. To go very well as to go very bad. So we were stable for 1 year. And then yes, exactly. So the signs were get bigger and bigger, and she was very, very as a parent, what do you instantly do? Everything stops, the world stops, nothing else exists. Shaking,
And obviously then the search begins for the new heart. No, not yet. She was well for a year, and then she started diplomating with the Iron Twins, and on the same month they told us she
Ça, les gens pensent que c'est par l'âge. Jean's outlet store. Very cheery. In Vermont, they got robbed with like $30,000. Yeah. Saturday night, they were all at their Christmas party. Yeah. I'm from Brandon. Yeah. Me too. Are you really? I went to Park. A small English school. I went to Glasgow. Oh yeah? Where are you from in Brandon? Well, I was from what's that kind of up on the mountain, the other side of the 39. 39? Well, what's your name? Armstrong, Mike. It's a long time ago. I was only there when I was I'm 41. Oh yeah? You look a lot younger than me. I didn't say that.
What's his secret? What's the secret? Oil of Olay.
Yeah, exactly. I was on Avery. The street that goes right to my cousin. She's from there. Oh yeah? Oh really? Yeah, I lived right across the street from the.
Is my hair okay?
You've been living there for.
It's my lunch, not my good side.
From like Chile. But it's all my mom moved from here. She gets depressed. I guess if I could, since you're wearing the mic, and I'll put the mic on you. Just a few questions. No problem. Go ahead. Yeah, she's the one talking. She likes to talk. She's a girl. Oh, well, yeah.
I spent all my work.
Maybe the place to start is helping out an organization like this. Why is it you want
It's, I think it's mutual helping because the organization is supporting organ donation, sorry, translation. And since we have requires, we have as a mission, one of our missions is to talk about organ transplant, how important it is and how it can change someone's life.
There are a lot of people out there who say most people do the same position you were in. Right. It's a tough situation to be in, waiting for that phone ring.
Yes, because it's a question of life and death. You don't know how long your child or your person from your family is without an organ that is waiting. So yes, it's very difficult. You have to try and see positive. But a fatal situation.
How hard is K-State Boss in that situation? It's a challenge?
It's a challenge, but coming out from it, now you can find
There were two different times.
Yes, it is difficult to try and
You won the early one.
You know, when you see Zoe, the little kid, the only thing that they will do is they're so strong. They're giving you a lesson of life. You don't have a choice. You have to fight. So when you see them going, you have no other, nothing else to do than fight with them.
And you say the only thing that they want to do is live. Also, as a child, they want to travel. As soon as she had 2 minutes, she was feeling well.
I guess with organ donation, organs out there, it's just that people aren't donating. How frustrating is that? I guess that's the reason for raising awareness.
Yes, we need to raise awareness. Coming from the South Shore of Bonaventure, we saw again this big sign from Québec Transillant, and what they're saying is what we are saying is we need to talk about it. We all know that we have to sign up for family, but we need to do action and we need to talk about it. So everyone signs for a child to adopt, even a person who is over 50 or against that you can donate for someone for a while.
The difference it makes is just like
it's a huge difference because as we have to learn to accept, we have to know that we did not change anyone's destiny. The destiny of the donor was very sad. We did not change that. There was a death, there was cerebral death, the organs were still working, but we decide to do this again and give life to someone who is also another person.
I'm just going to get by here. Well, I got a minute. I'm just going to.
A local teenager carried a special torch through the streets of downtown Pittsburgh today. It's called the Torch of Life. It's a symbol of the desperate need for organ donations. And tonight, a 14-year-old girl who's been on that transplant list for more than 5 years carried it with friends. Amelia Beverly has a megawatt smile, but when it comes to her health, there's little for her to be happy about. For 5 agonizing years, she's been waiting for a new bowel, new pancreas, and a new liver, enduring night after night of treatments that interrupt her sleep but keep her alive.
It's a constant struggle because she wants to live a normal childhood life, and she can't.
I'm waiting on 3 transplants, and I'm trying to get better.
Today, Jamelia was asked to carry the torch of life, first blessed a decade ago by Pope John Paul, then carried worldwide to awareness of the need for organ donors. Organizers say if just half the population became donors, waiting lists would disappear.
And I think Pope John Paul II, when he said, through the kids, people respond, they have been responding. When they see courageous kids like this carrying the torch, they respond to this. They become organ donors.
I feel special because it's like giving me an opportunity to let the world know what kids need out here.
The torch began its current 2-year journey in Alaska last October, and after stops in 300 cities and 36 countries, is going to arrive in Argentina late next year. A teenager carried a special torch through the streets of downtown Pittsburgh today. It's called the Torch of Life. It's a symbol of the desperate need for organ donations. And tonight, a 14-year-old girl who's been on that transplant list for more than 5 years carried it with both hands. Amelia Beverly has a megawatt smile, but when it comes to her health, there's little for her to be happy about. For 5 agonizing years, she's been waiting for a new bowel, new pancreas, enduring night after night of treatments that interrupt her sleep but keep her alive.
It's a constant struggle because she wants to live a normal childhood life, and she can't.
I'm waiting on 3 transplants, and I'm trying to get better.
Today, Jamelia was asked to carry the torch of life, first blessed a decade ago by Pope John Paul, then carried worldwide to raise awareness of the need for organ donors. Organizers say if just half the population became donors, waiting lists would disappear.
I think Pope John Paul II, when he said, through the kids, people respond, they have been responding. When they see courageous kids like this carrying the torch, they respond to this. They become organ donors.
I feel special because it's like giving me an opportunity to let the world know what kids need out here.
torch began its current 2-year journey in Alaska last October, and after stops in 300 cities and 36 countries, is going to arrive in Argentina late next year. A local teenager carrying a special torch through the streets of downtown Pittsburgh today is called the Torch of Life with a smile. It's a symbol of the desperate need for organ donations. And tonight, a 14-year-old girl who's been on that transplant list for more than 5 years carried it with friends. Amelia Beverly has a megawatt smile, but when it comes to her health, there's little for her to be happy about. For 5 agonizing years, she's been waiting for a new bowel, new pancreas, and a new liver, enduring night after night of treatments that interrupt her sleep but keep her alive.
It's a constant struggle because she wants to live a normal childhood life, and she can't.
I'm waiting on 3 transplants, and I'm trying to get better.
Today, Jamelia was asked to carry the torch of life, first blessed a decade ago by Pope John Paul, then carried worldwide. Raise awareness of the need for organ donors. Organizers say if just half the population became donors, waiting lists would disappear.
I think Pope John Paul II, when he said through the kids, people respond, they have been responding. When they see courageous kids like this carrying the torch, they respond to this. They become organ donors.
I feel special because it's like giving me an opportunity to let the world know what kids need out here.
The torch began its current 2-year journey in Alaska last October, and after stops in 300 cities and 36 countries, is going to arrive in Argentina late next year.
Once it was lit in the Wasilla High School gym, students took to the streets. These Regina students are among thousands of others in a 36-country relay. They're carrying the torch, hoping to get more people to sign up as potential organ donors. Brad Lulick led this leg of the run.
4,000 people in Canada right now need an organ donation, and it's proven that we have the lowest number of donors in the world.
That's why George Marcello mortgaged his house to fund this student torch run. He's had 2 liver transplants and was moved by what he saw waiting for his transplants.
This was in a Toronto hospital. Every other day, somebody on my floor was dying because an organ wasn't arriving. 3 floors below me was the emergency room, where literally nurses were telling us that there was organs that were going literally in the wastebasket.
Marcello hopes this worldwide student run will inspire more people to sign an organ donor card and discuss their wish with a family member. The student run ended at the Saskatchewan legislature, with the premier accepting the torch. Brad Wall was asked why Canada and Saskatchewan have a low rate of organ donors.
I don't know, because we're the number 1 in the country in terms of volunteering. I can't think of a province in Canada that has a bigger heart than ours, and so that we would want to give ours away if in the case of some calamity seems to fill. It might just be awareness, and so hats off to these kids from Regina High School.
One person could save 8 people's lives. Why are so many organs going to waste?
Marcello says he doesn't believe Saskatchewan people are reluctant to sign an organ donor card. He says they just need to be reminded of it. He hopes this run will do that. Dean Gutile, CBC News, Regina.
Former Prime Minister Paul Martin is in Regina.
Hundreds of thousands of lives came to Regina today. Students from Regina High Schools carried the torch of life to the steps of the legislature this morning. The torch is being carried across North and South America to raise awareness of the importance of organ donation. Those carrying the torch say it's an issue that needs to be talked about more in Canada.
4,000 people in Canada right now need organ donation, and it's proven that we have the lowest number of donors in the world.
From Alaska to Argentina, the Torch of Life is traveling to 277 cities in 36 countries throughout the Americas.
A torch traveling around the world made a stop in Regina today, and no, it is not for the Olympics. Students from the 4 Regina Catholic schools delivered the Torch of Life to Premier Brad Wall at the Saskatchewan Legislative Building. The Torch Run is to promote the importance of organ and tissue donations. It is currently on a 2-year relay from Alaska to Argentina and will visit 277 cities along the way. It has even been blessed by the Pope. In Saskatchewan, the students recognize there is a real need for organ donors.
It's amazing how many people, 4,000 people in Canada right now need organ donation, and it's proven that we have the lowest number of donors in the world.
The torch will be in Brandon, Manitoba tomorrow, and it will end the Canadian leg of its journey at the end of January.
Hundreds of people are on a mission to raise awareness about organ and tissue donation, and today they stopped in Rochester with an organization called Step by Step, and this group is on day 125 of a 732-day campaign. They're going to 300 cities around the world, walking with a torch through each one, and they have one simple mission: getting people to sign up to be organ donors.
We have to have Americans think, what if these were your children, or your loved ones? How far would you go to try and save their life? Everybody really needs to start thinking like that.
The campaign started in Alaska in October. It will end in Argentina in October of
Ryan, that was great. I'm going to call you afterwards.
Of Thunder Bay High School students helped to inspire people to donate their organs today by taking part in an international torch relay. Students of St. Patrick's High School carried the torch to City Hall today. SOS The Americas is organizing the relay, which is covering about 300 cities in 36 countries of the Americas, to raise awareness about organ and tissue donation. Grade 12 student Brittany Marshall wanted to take part in the effort because the issue is close to home for her.
Just for myself, it's sort of a personal motivation. My dad's best friend, he's been struggling with juvenile diabetes his whole life, and he's also a double amputee, and he's waiting for a kidney and pancreas for over 2 years now. So just to take that walk and step for him.
The cure is in the message. If we can get people inspired about becoming organ donors, we can solve this problem. There's presently over 4,000 Canadians that are waiting for these precious gifts.
The relay began in Alaska on October 23rd, and Marcello says they plan to finish in Argentina in October of 2011. The torch's next stop is of Thunder Bay High School students helped to inspire people to donate their organs today by taking part in an international torch relay. Of St. Patrick's High School carried the torch to City Hall today. SOS The Americas is organizing the relay, which is covering about 300 cities in 36 countries of the Americas, to raise awareness about organ and tissue donation. Grade 12 student Brittany Marshall wanted to take part in the effort because the issue is close to home for her.
Just for myself, it's sort of a personal motivation. My dad's best friend, he's been struggling with juvenile diabetes his whole life, and he's also a double amputee, and he's waiting for a kidney and pancreas for over 2 years now. So just to take that walk and step for him.
The cure is in the message. If we can get people inspired about becoming organ donors, we can solve this problem. There's presently over 4,000 Canadians that are waiting for these precious gifts.
The relay began in Alaska on October 23rd, and Marcello says they plan to finish in Argentina in October of 2011. The torch's next stop is Sault Ste. Marie. Santa Claus arrived early.
Al Ministero della Sanità le città a nord dell'Ontario sono le prime in tema di donazione di organi, mentre non si può dire lo stesso della GTA.
North Bay, Port Perry e Sudbury sono in testa alla classifica per numero di abitanti che hanno dato il loro assenso alla donazione di organi. La media provinciale è al 17%, quella della GTA di poco superiore al 4%. Eppure molti si dicono pronti a iscriversi per la donazione.
I'm already registered.
Beautiful. Why you did it?
To save somebody else's life.
If with my part of my body, somebody can survive or something like that. Yeah, why not?
Per iscriversi alla lista dei potenziali donatori di organi bisogna avere un minimo di 16 anni ed essere in buone condizioni di salute, mentre non esiste un limite massimo d'età. Ciascun donatore, col suo gesto, può salvare sino a 8 vite umane.
There are two ways that people can register their consent to donate. One is in person by visiting a Service Ontario Health Card office, and the second way of registering is by downloading the Gift of Life consent form off of the TGLN website.
Giorgio Marcello, promotore di numerose campagne per la donazione di organi, auspica che il processo della donazione venga semplificato, ad esempio attraverso il rinnovo della patente di guida.
By going and getting your license, and there's many people that have to renew it, you're going to be asked, do you want to be an organ donor? So that would be registered. They can do they can register more people that way.
In Canada sono oltre 4.000 le persone in attesa di trapianto, 1.700 nel solo Ontario. Ma se la classifica per donatori in Ontario è aperta da località come North Bay con il 43,8%, seguita da Perry Sound con il 40%, ebbene tristemente al quart'ultimo posto è Woodbridge con soli 4 donatori su 100 abitanti. Giorgio Mitolo, Omni News.
Il viaggio della Torch of Life di Giorgio Marcello, che da anni promuove la donazione di organi. Se ne parla Giorgio Mitolo.
George Marcello ha presentato l'avvio della sua 8ª campagna per la promozione alla donazione degli organi, che lo porterà dopodomani a Washington.
We have over 100 students and people from all different faiths that are going to come and light the torch there.
La torcia della vita, simbolo scelto da Marcello per le sue campagne, è dedicata alla memoria del nuotatore canadese Victor Davis, morto nel 1989 a soli 25 anni, ucciso da un pirata della strada a Montreal. I suoi organi vennero donati.
We had lost our family member, my brother, and there was nothing we could do about it, but we can make some good come to some families that we didn't even know.
E mentre George Marcello si appresta a iniziare il suo viaggio lungo il continente nordamericano, proprio oggi, 30 anni fa, Terry Fox iniziava la sua Marathon of Hope per sensibilizzare tutti i canadesi alla lotta contro il cancro. George Marcello vuole promuovere la donazione di organi anche negli Stati Uniti, dove ben 106.000 persone sono in attesa di trapianto.
Inspire half the population of the USA. If we can do that, nobody needs to die every hour there. We can change that drastically.
In Canada oltre 4.000 persone sono in attesa di un organo che salvi loro la vita.
I was down in my last week of life when I had my transplant, and my doctor told me I had less than a week to live, and 20 minutes later my pager went off and away I went, and that was 15 years ago.
Questa campagna durerà sino al 2014 e toccherà 200 paesi. Giorgio Mitolo, Omni News.
The Torch of Life was burning in Toronto. Dozens of students from several GTA high schools ran with a torch that has been blessed by Pope John Paul II to raise awareness of organ donation. The torch has been traveling throughout the Americas and will visit 277 cities and 26 countries. Organizer George Marcello received an organ transplant in 1995. He had been given just a few days to live when his life was saved.
And all the other students, I want to welcome you. Thank you.
The students in Toronto were met at Queen's Park by MPP Frank Cleese, who congratulated them on behalf of all political parties and the Ontario government. The students say more people need to be open to organ donation to save more lives. For Sun Media, I'm Brett Clark.